Now tonight's backstory. Before arriving in Germany, the president delivering an emotional speech to the people of Poland. He spoke from the monument to the 1944 Warsaw Uprising, marking the sacrifice of Polish freedom fighters who resisted the Nazis.
Our citizens did not win freedom together, did not survive horrors together, did not face down evil together, only to lose our freedom to a lack of pride and confidence in our values. We did not, and we will not. We will never back down. Just as Poland could not be broken, I declare today for the world to hear that the West will never, ever be broken. Our values will prevail, our people will thrive, and our civilization will triumph.
Mark Thiessen is a former chief speechwriter for President George W. Bush and a Fox News contributor. And his mother is one of those freedom fighters. And I wish, Mark, that I had known more about that when we worked together at the White House, because I would have found her and given her a big bear hug. So this speech was really personally important to you. And also, you've written speeches for American presidents to give in Eastern Europe. Tell me about your thoughts today.
Well, first of all, kudos to Donald Trump for delivering this speech. It was a terrific speech. It was probably the best speech of his presidency so far, and it was an important speech because it's probably one of the best speeches. There's my mom up there receiving a medal for her service in the uprising. Thanks for showing that. And it was personally important to me for exactly that reason. When Donald Trump was talking about the insurgency, when the Poles took back their capital for 63 bloody, courageous days, and he was talking about those insurgents, my mom was one of those insurgents.
Amazing.
And he was describing in the speech that scene on Jerusalem Avenue where there was a barricade and the Nazi snipers were firing at young courier girls. My mom was one of those couriers at an age when most people were going to school and playing dodgeball. She was dodging German sniper fire, carrying messages across the city for the insurgency.
And she raised you to understand.
A POW and came back here and came back to London and then came to the United States and became an American citizen. So
and she raised you to
because she was a POW, that's why I'm here.
And she raised you to understand and appreciate liberty and freedom. And I thought there was something today that you had mentioned earlier and that President Trump talked about. If we could play the sound when he was talking about what's happening with insurgents in Syria.
We urge Russia to cease its destabilizing activities in Ukraine and elsewhere, and its support for hostile regimes, including Syria and Iran, and to instead join the community of responsible nations in our fight against common enemies and in defense of civilization itself.
And as I understand it, Mark, what you want to stress is the importance of not underestimating an enemy.
Absolutely. I mean, the lessons of the Warsaw Uprising, where over 200,000 people were killed, and quite frankly, more broadly, World War II, where the Nazis killed 25 million people, is that you can't sit back and let murderous ideologies grow and fester until they become capable of killing people on that kind of a scale. You know, when you look at what happened in Warsaw, when you look at what happened in Europe, reasonable people look and say, why did we let the Nazi ideology grow and take over a great power and build its military might? And the answer is for the same reason that we did nothing about the rise of ISIS, for the same reason that we did nothing about Syria, while 500,000 people have been massacred in the last 4 or 5 years in that country. We need to confront these ideologies before they can kill on a scale commensurate with their hatred. And that's the lesson that Donald Trump was trying to get across today.
All right, Mark, thank you so much, and a big hug to your mom. Thank her for all of us.
Thanks, Dana.